player, but until I watched his Enchantress play, some dirty deers going down, and I'm excited to see it again. It was banned out, first ban against Sing's second game of that series, so that just shows how much work he can get done. But again, with the Clinks, one of Enchantress's natural counters, it might not be as successful. We're going to wait for everyone to reconnect before we go ahead and introduce the teams. But again, just a reminder, this is the playoffs of the Prodota EU bracket. This is a best-of-1 series, and I am very excited to bring it to you. I'm going to be your caster, Android. Alright, so let's go ahead and introduce the teams here without further ado. Way up top here, we are going to have OK Sia on the Witch Doctor. On the side of Uguay, we're going to have Valak standing in on the Carry Clinks. Heading towards the mid lane, it's going to be ML Whisper on the Doom. Topson is going to be playing that mid Brewmaster, picking up some early survivability there with the Poor Man's Shield. And still hanging around base, we are going to have Sohn on the Nature's Prophet. On the side of Kaipi, we are going to have Bone7 playing up that Legion. It's going to be Come With Me on the Dazzle. Cancel is going to be playing the Puck here, so a little bit of rotations heading around there. We are going to have Ryubaras on the Bounty Hunter roaming around, getting some early vision there, and Sing is going to be on that famous Enchantress. Looks like Rayo going in, going to be just getting some vision there, knowing that the Clinks is scouting out this top room, but I think Radiant are going to have a clean shot at the bottom. I really don't think there's anything going on there. This is going to be hard farming Legion, and Cancel's going to go for the mid, so a little bit of lane swap there from what we saw them run earlier in the tournament. This now is just going to be grouping up. Countdown is starting. I think Sing might just want to spray out some casual damage here in the fight, but really nothing they're going to be able to do for kill potential. Looks like there is going to be an attempt at a courier snipe from the Bounty Hunter, but Doom should be pretty keen on that. Going back to block the creeps, maybe going to stay around to block the courier as well, or path it very smart to make sure that there's no early snipe from the Bounty Hunter, because that can absolutely turn games. Making sure that there's no bottle, no more regen coming out to your mid hero can definitely put a big delay on what your mid is able to do. It's a mid lane matchup. If we look at overall last hits as the first wave starts to meet, it's just going to be... I think Puck is going to have an easier time here going up here against the Brewmaster. Brewmaster does opt to scale that Drunken Haze first, so the mischance is going to be pretty important there. Puck going in, getting some early denies, trying to keep herself useful. Meanwhile, down bottom, there's going to be some very successful harass here on the Nature's Prophet. So it is going to be Bone7 here, playing the safe lane LC. I hope Bone's able to snowball. They do end up picking up a Dazzle to combo with the Legion. I think that's a great pickup. Even just a point and poison touch can make a world of difference. Also having that heal bomb while Legion's up close and personal with the enemy carry is going to be successful as well. There is going to be Sing getting killed here. First blood! Sing's taken out here. That was a very successful use of the shockwave there from the Satyr aura that Doom picked up. Now come with me, just gonna go pull. They are gonna have to split the XP from this with Sohn, who's pushed up pretty far into wave. There's not a whole lot they can do with that. Meanwhile, Sing sitting back up top, pushed in again aggressively. There's another cask ready to go. Brewmaster gets taken out by a neutral, as there was just a really successful hold here from the Radiant. He pushed in a little bit too deep. The down bottom, we are going to have Legion currently leading up our last hit chart, doing pretty well in terms of CS, but not feeling a whole lot of pressure from the Nature's Prophet. Dazzle's buffering that out as much as he can. And there's going to be another rotation here. Bounty Hunter roaming in. There is going to be a defensive Radiant Sentry, so they know that the Dire do not have vision of this. Do they try to initiate here? There is an Illusory Orb, there is a Phase Shift, there is a Waning Rift, but they're not looking to unload everything just yet. Doom grabs up that Invis Rune, gonna be maybe looking to gank Sing again up top. Sing plays that Enchantress so far forward, but the Clinks is one of the heroes that could really punish that. Doom's coming back in, of course, no level 6 for him yet. He's only level 2, he's pretty much out of mana, but he has a Mango to gobble up if he needs it. He's gonna go in and maybe try to start something here, but there is gonna be a Paralyzing Cask on the side of the Witch Doctor if they want to go in for this. There's the Cask thrown out, they're gonna go in. Just casting out some casual damage, but Sing with a point in the untouchable. That's the survivability they need. There's going to be a rotation in now from the Bounty Hunter. Maybe looking to start something here on the Nature's Prophet, but Bone7 doesn't want to fight that early. She has 2 points in the overwhelming odds, and she's going to have to cast that eventually if she wants to follow up here. But I think it's a casual Bounty Harass. There's going to be a Nature's Prophet now forced out of lane, a non-issue for the Legion. So I think at some point Dire need to invest a couple more resources to slow down Bone7 here. Cancel getting very low in the mid lane. Thompson will be following him up. Going in, does have the Thunderclap, but doesn't want to take too many tower shots. In fact, now with a South popped onto cancel, he's going to be feeling real healthy and just smacking on Thompson some more. Now down bottom, there's going to be a Sprout. It did catch up on 7, but of course the Quelling Blade coming into use there. Definitely taking a lesson here and able to just get himself out of the trees, no problem. A whole mid lane cancel is in a whole big bunch of trouble. Does use that jaunt out of the illusory orb to get back onto high ground, onto familiar territory, and that's a lot of rotations in from the Dire, and they really don't get anything out of that as they do rotate in both OKC and the Doom. Doom now hopping into the jungle to get back some of that much-needed XP and farm, and not having any problem with that. There's a deep dive here from the Radiant. They're pushing in. They have the Poison Touch from the Dazzle. Going to be using it just to casually harass the Nature's Prophet, and now Bone 7 goes in. Successful push here. Going to be getting some chip damage on the tower. Dobson is pretty low here, only level 5, so no split. Looks like they are going to try to initiate. They go in with the Waning Rift. They do connect with the Silence phase shift from the Puck, dodging out the tower shots, and that's a clean kill for the Radiant right now. Fantastic play. There is going to be a follow-up cast from the Witch Doctor if he wants to cast it, but again, another phase shift there from Cancel is exactly what they need. So double damage, showing its work on the Puck, and even though Puck isn't usually a right-clicker hero, just a nice combo of spells there. Secures the kill on the Brewmaster, setting him back a little bit in farm. In fact, it's 0-2, but now the Witch Doctor is the target of the aggro, and a Bounty Hunter secures a kill here. That's going to put him a little bit closer to his level 6. He's still in level 3, but any chunk of XP certainly helps him out. Meanwhile, down bottom, there is going to be a Nature's Prophet trying to TP out. He will get out successfully, but that just allows for the tower to go down. There's going to be a fortified pop from the Dire, and that's going to be a clean tower going the way of Kaipi here at only 5 minutes in the game.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Meanwhile, Sting up top is going to be going picking up most likely her Dragonlance pretty soon, hopefully. Does have this Hellbear Smasher sitting on reserve in the back lines if she wants to go in and thunderclap up some creeps or give Clink a little bit of a hard time. But again, Clink is feeling pretty okay here. He's second on the last hit chart, 31 last hits to his name right now. But that is not matching up to Bone 7's 40 last hits. Right now at just 5 minutes in the game, Bone 7 is putting in the work. Does get sprouted, but again, immediate Quelling Blade out of those trees. Does not want to take any unnecessary damage. We are going to have Thompson still no level 6 on him. Do they try to punish that? Looks like Bounty Hunter goes in, immediately dewards. Bounty Hunter's going to be grabbing up some more sentries as well. So that's just going to be really good for the Radiant, keeping their vision game up. They are going to be able to deward this ward here, using Witch Doctor's second to last tango. Another Waning Rift from the Puck does some casual harass onto Brewmaster, but nothing really to bring him down just yet. Meanwhile, up top, there could be some initiation onto the Clinks. This is going to be a rotation up from Bounty Hunter, but he'd rather stay and just soak XP for now. Looks like Cancel wants to make something of this. There's an Invis rune ready to go. They're just going to let the Puck have it. Looks like... Ooh. Yeah, Puck is able to get the rune before the deny from the Witch Doctor comes through, and now the Witch Doctor might pay for this with his life. He pops on the Buddha Restoration. There's the Dream Coil from the Puck going in. Cancel wants to make something happen. This Poison Touch from the Dazzle. Rotation in from the Nature's Prophet as well. This could be illusory orbs flying everywhere as Doom picks up the first kill of the game, takes out the Bounty Hunter. Now Puck is able to get the Witch Doctor down, who activates an Invis rune. Puck's flying in the air, or Dazzle's flying in the air rather, as Puck is able to get away safely for now, but come with me. Looks like will be picked off, just stepped a little bit too close to the sun, and Brewmaster does end up getting the kill as well as unleashing that Primal Split. He comes back together, he's at full health, and Sing is here, still on level 6 on him as well, so there's going to be no impetus to really harass back the Brewmaster. It looks like Dire starting to find the momentum that they need. They're getting their levels just a little bit for the Radiant. Puck comes back in, Cancel taking a lot of damage from that Wrath of Nature. Empty bottle there, so Fairy Dragon may have to head back to base to refill her bottle. Meanwhile, Witch Doctor feeling pretty poor here, only sitting at 6 last hits and some brown boots, but having to keep that vision game up is going to be so taxing here on the Dire supports. We see that there's an Observer Ward here, but we do need more sentries just to constantly reveal the Bounty Hunter, who's been all over the place. Now currently going in, going to be scouting out this rune as it respawns at 8 minutes, maybe looking to initiate here onto Valix, who's doing really well, now has the Soul Ring. And yeah, if we switch over to net worth here, it's looking good for the Clinks, keeping up with the Legion. Of course, Legion needs some kills to snowball, and now that she has that duel ready to go, we might be seeing some very aggressive rotations from Kaipi to secure her some early duel wins. Both Puck and Enchantress finishing up their treads now. Dazzle's still feeling kind of poor sitting on those brown boots, and he's going to be flying in some goodies. What's he picking up? course, some more wards. We gotta keep the vision up here as Radiant looks like they might be winning the battle. They've got a really nice ward here that does scout out the Clinks, farming up this camp whenever he does, and Bounty Hunter goes in, wants to punish the Clinks. Another aggressive ward into the lane. They're going to see any rotation from the Dire to defend their tower, and well, Clinks is going to be forced back into the jungle, not wanting to tangle with the likes of the Radiant just yet. Come with me, going in, securing that kill into Treant, just making sure that little tree buddy goes down. They are going to have Rivers rotating into the lane. Witch Doctor's looking to punish, but no vision on him. There's no dust, no sentries. So this might be an easy initiation for the Radiant if they want to find it. There is a Primal Split up in 6 seconds on the Brewmaster if he's opting to team fight here, but I think the action's going to be focused up top as Clinks reveals himself here to Sing, who now has the Impetus ready to go, and a pretty full mana pool as well. There's going to be pings out from the Dire. They want to make something happen. No Doom on the Doom, but he does have that clap from the Thunder Bear, and now, oh, we're going to see some impetuses sprayed out. There is going to be some damage being thrown out onto the Doom. There's going to be the first duel secured for Bone 7. Great rotations from the Radiant, comboing that all together. There's going to be a cask bounced out onto Bone 7, but no bounces, as they do split up pretty clean. The Sentry comes in. They are able to deward the Observer from the Clinks, but they're not able, or from the Bounty, but they're not able to catch up to him and get vision on himself. Meanwhile, Nature's Prophet, trying to keep the farm game up here, is going to be going for what looks like an early drums after he picks up his phase boots, and that's going to help him out a lot, especially with his chase potential if he's going aggro late game, but for now it's just not the impact that they need. Compare the offlaners to Sing Sing, and Sing Sing just has higher kill potential going on right now, has the int treads ready to go, has about 700 gold in the bank, going to be looking to pick up, hopefully, a Dragonlance second item. Now in the mid lane, we do have the Primal Split ready to go. Witch Doctor's only level 4, so really feeling kind of poor now. He's bottom of the net worth chart. He's been buying up wards all game, but that means no personal item progression, and that means very little time for levels as he's just constantly walking around trying to deward. Nature's Prophet is going to be making the most of this offlane farm, but they do have to contest with a farming Dazzle at this point. Has come with me, maxing out that Shadow Wave, but also looking for the Poison Touch, maybe trying to go for a little bit more aggro build later on, securing dual wins here for Bone 7, who's feeling really good with that 10 damage, hopping into the Radiant Jungle. Is going to be going for finishing up the Power Treads, and I think that's a pretty smart move. Does have the Blink Dagger before the Power Treads are finished. I think Legion Commander in this game has the luxury to do that, and that's going to be fantastic. She already has that early mobility that she needs so much to get early duels down bottom. Come with me might be in some trouble as Clinks is starting to unload. Goes in with an early grave, wants to TP out. Is there anything to break the TP? No, they just have to let the Dazzle fly away. So Cancel going in, trying to hold this mid lane the best that they can. They do have Bone 7 on the back lines, maybe looking to follow up with the duel. If they can prevent the Panda from splitting and kill him before he uses his ult, that's a really, really important kill for Kaipi. Up top, we got the pressure from Sing Sing going in, splashing down the creeps, and Sing Sing is going to be picking up the Dragonlance very shortly. Needs about 400 gold more there, and that's going to be a pretty successful first item, making that Impetus just hurt a little bit more. Those right clicks are going to start really coming out from the enchantments. Meanwhile, Radiant may have to trade for their towers. They let Sing Sing get some free farm up top. They don't think they want to rotate anyone in just yet, and they might have to just concede this tower, though we are going to have 2 rotations coming in from now. There's going to be Bounty Hunter going in. He does have the track not quite online yet, but he has some dust here if he needs to reveal the Clinks. If he feels spooked, there is going to be Come With Me going in. There's no deny on the tower, so more gold going in favor of Uruguay. If we look at the overall XP and net worth here after Sing Sing gets initiated on, she's going to be taking a Drunken Haze right to the face. There is going to be the Clinks rotating in. The Untouchable working its magic, but the burst just might be there. Nature's Attendance is popped. The cast going in, gets the stop online. The Doom's there if they really need to commit it. TP out from Sing is going to be cancelled there from the Hellbear Clap, I believe, and that's going to be Sing Sing going back to the well. Yeah, there's no way she can get out of those tower shots, and it is a split kill, so there's going to be less gold going to a single member of the Dire, but it's a kill nonetheless. Meanwhile, there is a trade here in the mid. They're able to secure that tier 1 tower. So right now we just kind of reset here for the Dire in terms of overall XP. It's slightly okay. We are back to 0 after that last fight. After the pick off on the Enchantress, the XP is getting evenly distributed. Dire are doing a great job just splitting up and farming. We see now Prophet going in onto these Ancients. Is scouted up by the Bounty Hunter. I don't know if anything comes of this, as again, he's only level 5. He really needs that track. In lane, there's a group up here from the Dire. They've got no Death Ward from the Witch Doctor. Now looking maybe to scout out the bounty hunter, but the vision game is a little bit weak for now. There's dust, there's sentries, but nothing plopped down just yet. Waning Rift comes through on the puck, connects onto Thompson, but there's no follow-up. Again, just more harass. Puck is top of the net worth chart. Going to be most likely picking up a blink dagger very soon.
I think not.
There's going to be just two ships passing in the night here as Invis here is crossing all of them up. The smoke is not scouted out by the Clinks as he just comes back a little too soon. So there's going to be a double smoke here from Bone 7 and the Bounty Hunter looking to maybe wrap around from the back lines. They are going to have the Illusory Orb from the puck up to start things off. There is a fantastic opportunity for a Coil as well. There's no track. They're not going to be able to get the little bit of extra gold onto this. Looks like, who's the target here? There is going to be the Legion Commander going in, dueling up the Witch Doctor. Easy kill. Cancel actually getting that one, I believe, with the Waning Rift damage. And it's enough to secure Legion her blink. It's enough to secure Puck his blink. And that's exactly what the Radiant need to keep themselves ahead. Meanwhile, Sing Sing continuing to apply lane pressure on the Enchantress is now going to be snapping up the Dragon Lance very shortly. And again, that's just going to help out. It's a little bit later than the Dragon Lance we've seen Enchantresses pick up in the past, but it's coming out nonetheless. It's not too delayed. Sing Sing has 2 deaths, but to maybe turn that around late game as he's able to splash out the damage. Some more farm out here. It looks like the Bounty Hunter not able to go for any real utility as himself. Does have the Arcane Boots, which are super crucial, but the rest of it's going to be spent buying up the Orb of Venom, buying the Regen, buying the Vision, and that's going to be so crucial for the Radiant. So all of the Radiant now grouped up top. The Dire don't seem to want to rotate for this. I mean, you've got okay, Sia here on the Witch Doctor, but that's really it in terms of Dire rotations. Dire focusing their efforts bottom lane, but they might have to sacrifice a tier 2 for this. In fact, they will sacrifice a tier 2. That's maybe just a little bit of extra advantage now. Bone 7 just focusing on the mid, applying the pressure here. So it seems like Kaipi are just going in to secure map advantage. And yeah, Dire, they've got some decent damage coming out, but if Radiant group up and pushes a group, I don't know how Uguay want to stop this. They have some single target initiate. Clinks is able to just go in and absolutely destroy someone with some arrows, but aside from the Doom, it's really the big damage chunks coming out from Uguay, and they're not getting it online right now. But we see Witch Doctor just has to stand there and watch his tier 3s get pushed, watch as the creeps start to invade his base. I don't think Uguay is a team that's going to play really well from behind. Once they're confined to their base, that might be it. Bone 7 now is going to be grabbing up the chainmail, so most likely going into either a blade mail or an AC. I think both are viable. If Bone 7 wants to go a little bit greedy, he can farm up the AC. It'll help with the movement speed as well. Or sorry, the attack speed. It'll help with his auras, making sure his teammates as productive as possible. But it's a bigger item to grab up. The blade mail might just be enough. You're going to see Bounty Hunter going in again, aggressively trying to find these picks. Now does have the track ready to go, so the next couple of picks are going to be important. Starting the gold spiraling in Kaipi's favor. There's going to be a hasted Legion Commander. Oh, she's hunting. She really wants to find something here. Duel's off cooldown. Blink's ready to go. Who's she going to look for? As Dire, they seem to scout this out. They seem to have their game sense going. We are going to have a Orchid being picked up on the Nature's Prophet. I think that's a great item, but I think the timing of it is going to be a little bit less than ideal. The next couple of team fights are going to take place before the Orchid's online, and that might be the difference. There's going to be a Waning Rift from the puck, blinking out before the clap comes through. Meanwhile, the Bounty is not scouted out as there's no vision just yet. I think this intersection point is going to be a crucial place to have vision. Meanwhile, Clinks does end up killing Bone 7 here in the top lane. That was just a little bit too much greed from Legion Commander going through, being in a very aggressive positioning without any vision in this whole quadrant of the map. That's going to set Legion's farm back a little bit. Again, she does have her blink. It looks like she's going for a BKB as well. Maybe into the Maelstrom or the Mjolnir, but that's a really greedy build. Looks like it's going to be going down here. Is this going to be Bounty Hunter scouted out? There's dust onto him. They want to get that kill. They will get the kill. The first of the game, or the first of the fight rather. Cancel comes in, throws out the orb, going through into the fight. Not going to judge in just yet. They're going to sacrifice the tier 1 tower and hope that's the end of the engage, as the Radiant right now can't fight without their Legion Commander. Split from the Brew is going to end in just a couple of moments. They want to go in. They want to find at least something here. Thompson gets backed up. Impetus doing so much work. Domination's Prophet trying to save him. There's just enough damage from the puck. Illusory Orb to get the kill. Dragonlance is completed onto the Enchantress, has an Aghanim Scepter coming out pretty soon as well, needs about 2k more gold for that. And then Sing Sing's going to be pretty much fully online as that back end's damage dealer just sitting at the back of the fight, spraying out the impetus, just hitting with the right clicks, and that's going to really start to hurt the Dire as their survivability is not perfect just yet. Witch Doctor sitting on 750 HP and 2 armor, so he's going to really have to drop some ults and just hope he lives long enough to have him have an impact. Down bottom, we have Clinks really looking for something here on Bone 7, but not going to find it, just scouting him out. Nature's Prophet will be finishing up the Orchid pretty soon. That's going to be pretty solid. It's going to be able to lock down the Legion Commander before she gets her duel. Silencing up the Puck is going to be fantastic. Again, if you silence the Dazzle, you won't be able to get off the Shallow Grave. You won't be able to do pretty much anything to help his teammates, but there's a lot of choices. There's a lot of silenced targets, and you've only got one there as Nature's Prophet, so I think after that pickup, after the Orchid's picked up from the Nature's Prophet, Uruguay need to go. They need to smoke up and look for picks, because right now they're letting the Radiant just have a little too much space, and in the top 3 net worth heroes, there's 2 on the Radiant. You've got the Puck and the Legion, both giving a really good show now, as Legion is going to be most likely scouted out here. She's in the wave. She does not have a TP as it's on cooldown. I think this could be her demise. She has the blink. Can she get out in time? It looks like she's going to take a slap to the face. She's going to be regenning, trying to get away, trying to blink to the trees. It's going to be enough. The boulder toss comes through. She's going to be stunned up. She's just backed into a corner. There's nothing she could do. Witch Doctor securing the kill on that. Some final justice for that last duel. So that's going to be an easy pick in favor of Uruguay. But now from the back line, they are going to have the Bounty Hunter rotating in. There's Come With Me here on the Dazzle. Cancel on the Puck. Waiting for this push. Letting the Enchantress get a little bit more far mid. They do scout out the Bounty Hunter, but it's not enough to stop the Waning Rift from the Puck going in, silencing up the Clinks. Going to be a nice weave from the Dazzle, getting everyone a little bit low armor, but there's going to be a Yules coming out onto Thompson, trying to get everything down. Clinks will fall, or sorry, Cancel does fall, courtesy of the Death Ward from the Witch Doctor, but that's enough to secure Clinks a kill, and enough to secure this tower. Fortify being popped from the Radiant. Of course, it comes off cooldown after the Tier 1 falls, but it's more map advantage that the Radiant are giving away for free.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Bountiful.
There's going to be some TPs here. Everyone getting out on the side of the Dire. Radiant, they're trying to play cleanup crew here, but they're just not quick enough to catch up to anyone. Nature's Prophet now having that Orchid online, another 300 gold in his pockets, and yeah, it's going to be Bounty Hunter trying to go in, gets the track, does a little bit of damage there to Thompson, but that's really not much. I think they need to follow up on these tracks a little bit more. Down bottom, we are going to have Clinks looking in. They are just going to initiate here onto Sing. That's the power of the Nature's Prophet. They're global at this point. The Untouchable doing some work, but finally the Nature's Prophet Wrath of Nature is enough to secure the kill. That little bit of global burst doing the damage there, getting Sing Sing down again. Sing Sing's dead for the 3rd time this game. Going to be finishing up the Aghanim very soon. Puck's tries to go in. They're going to get a return kill here on the Nature's Prophet, unless they can just sprout and TP out. That's going to be his plan, but they have the burst damage there from the Bounty Shuriken and toss. There's a dust revealing the Bounty going in. They got the Desolator now on the Clinks, doing some serious damage, killing or dominating spree for the Clinks rather. He's going in, and now Come With Me will be the next target of engage. Does have the Shallow Grave trying to TP out. Do they even focus some damage onto the Clink or Dazzle? I think Dazzle gets away scot-free here, just barely, but it's 2 very important kills in the Radiant. They only have to sacrifice the Nature's Prophet. Puck does pick up the Yules. We saw that put to work on the Brewmaster in that last fight up in the top lane, and that's going to be really nice. I like that Puck is going for utility rather than just straight, dag and nuke damage. Having that Yules is going to just be able to put another pause button on the fight. If you see Clanks walking in, just Yules them up. You don't have to deal with them. Bone 7 does pick up that Desolator, so going for that negative armor strat, still holding onto the casual chainmail. I thought for sure it'd be built into either a blade mail or an assault cuirass by now, but opting to stop, pick up a little bit of tower push, pick up a little bit of armor penetration. So the negative armor strategy is going to be really strong here. They've got the Dazzle Weave, they've got the Bone 7 Desolator. Is it enough, though, to really crack in and do the damage they need to the Dire? Because at this point, Radiant are giving up kills that they really don't need to be giving up. We have Puck trying to juke around here, but Cancel now with no more Illusory Orb. TP is on cooldown. Blink is on cooldown as well. So looks like the TP is going to go through as she's just going to, Illusory Orb, jaunt out, TP out, wasting a little bit of time from the Dire, but it's a risky play. Looks like Roshan is scouted out by the Radiant. Maybe they want to make that happen, but I don't know if they have the raw damage now. They've got Bone 7 hitting pretty hard, but needs to be focusing on farm in order to keep up here with the Clinks. That's now starting to snowball just a little bit. There's going to be a nice 4-man smoke here, and the Enchanter's creep actually smoked up as well, as they're going to be rotating in. They're looking for kills here before they go in for the Roche. I think that's super smart, because Dire, if they get wind that the Roche is going on, they might try to go in, but there's going to be a smoke against a smoke. Again, 2 ships passing in the night, as no one's able to scout out the other. The Dire might just go straight in here for the pit. I think having an Aegis would be super impactful, and that's going to be the play, as they're not scouted out here. The one pinged out is going to be the Nature's Prophet, so he may end up losing his life here, but again, he does have the Sprout TP combo, and the Orchid as well, so maybe, yeah, Radiant just going to be giving this back up, TPing down. They realize that the Roche is going on. For now, the Dire are standing back. They're waiting for the Radiant to initiate onto them. Going to be a sentry drop down on top of the Observer, trying to get vision of the Bounty Hunter if he's the first one to rotate in. Looks like that may be the case, as he's postured up very aggressively, wants to make something happen here. Both teams know that the other is planning something, and they just can't figure it out, can't figure out where the other is, and they don't want to be the first one to make a wrong move, because again, if the Legion goes down, if the Enchantress goes down before the fight even starts, then it's just an absolutely lost fight for the Radiant. Link's here, he's waiting, he has that shiny new BKB at 10 charges, looking to maybe get something out of this. The Radiant, they're posturing up, they really want to start the fight here. The Illusory Orb is going to go up to the high ground, does not scout out the Doom, I don't believe, so they don't find him just yet. Very tense moment here, as the only one really farming is the Nature's Prophet, trying to make something of this time, as he does have that global TP and is able to just hop into the pit whenever he's needed.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Bone 7 will finish up the Blade Mail, so not opting to go for the more greedy, team-based Assault Cuirass. It's just a little bit too big of an item for now, but the Blade Mail should be enough to return the damage to the Dire if they're right-clicking. I think that's more than enough to bring down the Clinks in certain situations, and now we are going to have more warding going on here. This is such a tense spot where you got sentries on sentries, and neither's going to scout out the other, but it's a kind of a pause point in the game where now Radiant are realizing, you know what, just go back, set up some farm, get some farm for ourselves, and the Dire are now clumped up, trying to push as a group, trying to find out where the Radiant are. In terms of overall gold, we're pretty much even. XP is a little bit in Uguay's favor just because they did spend the last couple of minutes splitting up, and Nature's Prophet is farming constantly. Is going to be going and just orchiding up that Centaur. Yeah, you silence him up, you make him take more damage, that's good. And Dire, they're just really hunting for something. Who's going to be the first one to start the fight? Looks like they're rotating down. They know that the Radiant's here now. There's going to be a track here onto the Brewmaster. He's going in. He gets silenced up by the Waiting Rift. In fact, there's going to be some serious damage going in. They're going to start the duel onto the Brewmaster, getting him down before he has a chance to cast a split. There's a really nice Dream Coil here onto the Clinks, but he's BKB'd up. He doesn't care a whole lot. Looks like Clinks is able to down the Bounty Hunter on the backlines here. We have Dazzle running from the Witch Doctor. The Dire now control the pit. There's a doomed up Sing Sing here sitting on the backline, still feeling kind of healthy. Maybe looking to reinitiate once the Doom expires. And yeah, I feel like there's a 1-for-1 trade here. The support Bounty Hunter for the Brewmaster coming out a little bit in favor of the Radiant, and neither team feels safe enough to go and start the Roche fight yet. That wasn't the all-out bloodbath either one was looking for. So we are going to have the Nature's Attendants here popped out by saying just keeping Cancel nice and high. Cancel does have a pretty full bottle if he wants to use that. Going to be Tread Swap and going in, taking up some farm with the Illusory Orb. Enchantress is going to get closer and closer to that Aghanim Scepter, only needing about 200 gold to finish it off, and then she's going to be pretty much fully online, able to go in with the team, do some serious damage from the back lines. But again, she was the target of the Doom Engage last fight. If she gets doomed every single fight, that's going to be a very dead deer. Now Dire, they feel safe enough to take the pit. They do use the Trance to tank a lot of the damage. That's super smart. The Radiant, they know this is going on, but can they rotate in quick enough? And is it even the smart fight for them to take? They're going to be getting the Roche down. This does fall here. Clinks is picking up the Aegis, and he's going to be very survivable in this next fight. Come with me, lands a really nice weave, but may pay the ultimate price. There's going to be a Glimmer Cape out, but there's certainly no shortage of vision on the Dire. Come with me. It's going to be using that Shallow Grave defensively on himself, and now Sing Sing trapped in the trees without much to do. Just going to be chunked down from the backlines. Clinks secures the kill, and there is going to be an unstoppable streak coming out. Come with me. The Grave expires, trying to be Yule's up in the air, trying to get saved just a little bit. Come with me is actually alive now. Glimmer Cape's on cooldown. Bone 7 trying to be survivable here, but does end up going down. Does some damage to the Clinks with the Blade Mail on the way down, but it's a huge monster kill streak here for the Clinks. This is exactly the pick they needed, and now Cancel might be up a creek without a paddle, trying to phase shift a last bit of damage, and does end up falling there, as, oh, there's going to be a defensive heals on the puck, but I think she still falls. Another phase shift here, looking for something. They actually are going to pop the Aegis on the Clinks. Fantastic play by the puck. Oh man, Cancel is an animal there, as Puck is still alive. Puck gets out into the trees, does not have a TP home, looking to take the long route around, but Cancel living there, Cancel popping the Aegis and the Clinks was almost exactly what the Radiant needed to make that somewhat worth. That's not a whole recap of the entire fight, but getting the Aegis Prophet down and popping the Aegis and the Clinks is probably worth the trade on your Dazzle. Legion Commander's a little bit of a bigger hit, but, you know, it's at least something. So now we're going to be approaching the 30-minute mark. We are going to have Brewmaster. Looks like he's going to be picking up the Aghanim Scepter, so that's going to make his ult a little bit spookier. Up top, we are going to have maybe just a solo initiation here from the Bounty Hunter. Goes in with the TP. Bounty Hunter not looking to break anything just yet. Not able to throw out that track as Come With Me rotates in just a little bit late. Oh no, we are going to see a Doom here onto Cancel. Puck was just way out of position there, didn't have any Radiant vision on where the Dire Heroes were, and pays the ultimate price. So all that fantastic escape from the last fight, maybe a little bit nullified there by that free kill for Uguay. So Radiant, they're now going to be on the back lines here, trying to defend their tier 2 tower, waiting for Dire to push in. Once they finish off this wave, they shouldn't have any trouble. Clinks has the Desolator. We mentioned that he has that BKB as well. There is going to be maybe Legion Commander biting off more than she can chew here. She baits out the Slick. It's going to be the reveal there with the dust. A Death Ward as well. Lone 7 will be falling to the grave before the fight really even starts. Now it's going to be Bounty Yuled up in the air, or spun up in the air by the first Panda, and there is just going to be some shallow graves onto him, keeping the Bounty alive for now. They have to concede a lot. They lose their Puck, they lose their Legion, and they are going to lose their tier 2 tower. It looks like Uguay, they found their window, they're going to keep applying pressure, and in terms of overall gold, in terms of overall XP, it's pushing pretty heavily into Uguay's favor now after what looked like a very even game.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Radiant looking to make a defense. Nice landing rift from the Puck. It's going to get the silence onto Clinks. But where's the follow-up damage right now? Sing Sing going in, doing what he can, disjointed by the Blink Dagger on the Panda. Going to be a solid pick up there, solid use of that Blink. And again, more pressure coming up from the Nature's Prophet down bottom. So Uguay looking to really capitalize on the fact that the Radiant are now playing from behind a little bit. They're going to be going up, farming up their own jungle, farming up the lanes. Looking pretty good for Uguay right now. Kaipi, they have to smoke up and they have to get picks. Keep feeding Legion those duel wins. She's had a couple fantastic duels. It's going to be picking up the Assault Cuirass recipe. And yeah, I mean, the more duel damage she gets, the scarier she gets, obviously, late game. But you've got to continue the snowball. You can't let her stall out and rat the base or defend the base for another 20-30 minutes. That's not how she's going to grow. So there is going to be a smoke up here from Kaipi. They're looking for something. They might not be finding anything as the rest of the Dire kind of clumped up here in the bottom lane. It'll be rotate around. Roche is still far from being up. Still about 5 minutes to go before we see when it respawns. And yeah, just kind of a ring around the rosy, scouting out the map here from the Radiant Heroes, but they don't find anything that they want. Meanwhile, Dire, they're making a game plan. They're drawing down mid. They want to just secure these final exterior towers, and that'll be probably the beginning of the end, as, again, Bounty Hunter and Legion both don't do very well with base defense. They don't sit there and farm creeps and get what they need. They need to go in for kills. They need to be on the offensive line. There's going to be a counter smoke here from the Dire. They might be able to find Cancel if they play their cards right. Cancel's going to be throwing out the Illusion Orbs. They know what direction the Puck is in. They're not looking to break anything too early, though the smoke is still completely unscattered out by the Radiant. They've got to be feeling a little bit unsafe, especially with themselves pushed up so far here in the bot lane. They have vision of the jungle, but again, that makes sure that smokes are unscattered out. There is going to be the tower going down. Triant's securing that kill. Clink's actually going in with a couple swipes of his right click. He's now hurting really bad. Going to be picking up the Chrysalis on top of the Lincoln Sphere. Oh man, there's going to be a Sprout into the Roche Pit. They're looking here for the Bounty Hunter. They have him dusted up. He's going to be taking the Maledict to the face. He's going to mech himself up, trying to get out of here, but there's no way he escapes alive. Doom actually getting the kill for that one. Looks like Doom going to be building up that plate mail, most likely into a Shiva's Guard, but you know, it could be some funky like a Lotus Orb. 7 is holding her breath here in the trees, trying not to be scouted out, and rightfully so. The Dire have such high kill potential right now, as they can just go in and catch out anyone completely off guard. There is going to be a push from the Radiant as they know the space is being made. They get the vision from the Legion. They know where the Dire are for now, and Radiant are doing a pretty good job making sure they're not confined to their base. They're farming what they can when they can. They're pushing their advantage a little bit. They may actually end up securing this tier 2 tower, but I think Cancel may have to get back, and that's a solid call as the Dire rotates in. Legion Commander looking to split the wave now, does have to TP back to base as there is going to be an aggressive TP in from the Brewmaster, not able to catch her out, but able to clean up the lane again when those creeps start to push. As Valix, he's feeling comfortable here on the front lines, even if there's no waves coming for a while. Lynx is still more than survivable here, shows off that new Lincolns as Bounty does try to pop onto the track. So in terms of overall pickups, we do see Sing Sing finishing up the Aghanim Scepter. Does have the Ghost Scepter as well, just fearing the raw right-click damage from the Clink. So I guess if you nullify that, if you make sure that, you know, Doom and Nature's Prophet and Clinks can't hit you, that's enough. I guess we are going to see an initiation here. So Nature's Prophet TP's in, shouting up Sing Sing. Sing Sing just falls super easily right there as Clinks is able to get the procs off, and Nature's Prophet going in with the Orchid, making her take even more damage. So Sing Sing not having that super impactful Enchantress game that we saw just a couple of days ago in this tournament. Just going to be a TP here. Nature's Prophet going in. Do they get the kill onto Bone 7? There's going to be more rotations from Dire. Sprout's off the mark right now. Bone 7 wants to TP out, but no, she's not going to be safe to do so for a little bit. The Death Ward's going to come through, but again, they do not have vision. It's going to be cancelled. Legion Commander gets out, forces a full 5-man rotation from the Dire, so there's some space created, but what do they really make from it? Right now, Radiant are just cleaning out their lanes, and that's not the aggressive style that they need to be playing. With a Bounty Hunter, you know, with a Legion Commander, you need to be constantly pushing going into the fight. There's going to be an Orchid here. On to come with me. Going in with a Dust. They do reveal the Bounty Hunter. It looks like Nature's Prophet may have picked off more than they can choose. It's going to be an easy dual target. Come with me, get Shallow Graved up. It's going to be A-okay here, so Nature's Prophet just not anticipating a little bit of kick and fight here from the Radiant. Sheep's Guard is finished up on the Doom. He's going to be buying out some more TPs, but the vision game has slacked just a little bit. There is going to be wards here from the Witch Doctor, but if we look at the overall Dire map coverage, they've got this guy here as a sentry, going to be revealing someone if they walk across during the fights, and there's going to be this Observer ward, so no defensive vision, even as the Radiant start to play on the offensive. Bone 7 looks like she's going to be going for... Alright, she's most likely going into the Butterfly, but maybe that's just a casual tally. I think that's not the worst pick here. It could also be a Solar Crest, but that's more of a typical Dazzle item build, and I'm not really sure how much use Legion Commander's going to get out of that. Bone 7 is making a lot of space here, applying a lot of pressure. Look at this wad of creeps going to be starting to stack onto the tier 3 towers, maybe forcing some rotations back from the Dire. And so yeah, it looks like Brewmaster's going to have to TP out of this bottom lane just to clear out the creeps. So Bone 7 doing her job here pretty effectively. Item build, I'm not entirely sure how synergistic it's going to be in the late game when you start having really raw right-click items on the Clinks, like this Daedalus, like this Desolator. There are going to be little Treant scouting out Bone 7. They're looking. They're trying to sprout her up. Bone 7 can blink deeper into the trees in just a couple of moments. Oh, but the Treants find her. They catch vision of her. They know where she is, but she's TPing out right now. The Sprout's a little bit off the mark. She's able to get out. Look at how much space, again, she's made. Meanwhile, Sing, again, farming up this bottom lane, has the finished Ghost Scepter, and another almost 1,000 gold in the bank.
My just reward.
Bounty Hunter will be picking up the Greaves at some point soon. He's been doing really good, buying up the dust, buying up the smokes, buying up the wards, but at the cost of his own personal growth. He has the Force Staff, which I think has been a fantastic pickup for him. It's going to help his teammates a lot, especially against very position-oriented heroes, like if Panda goes in with a split, just Force Staff whoever you want out of the party. But again, the Greaves are just a little bit delayed. We're at 36 minutes, and there are no Greaves here on the side of the Radiant. There is going to be a smoke on the side of the Dire. Roche is back up, but they're looking for blood. They're looking for pickoffs before they go in with the Roshan. There is going to be no gems, no vision on the Bounty Hunter just yet. It's going to be not the pickoff they were looking for, but now Clinks just goes in, aggressively farming the Radiant jungle. Maybe trying to force some rotations from that, but I think Dire might just be able to pick themselves off a clean Roche right now if they wanted to. It's going to be a secondary Roche going in favor of the Dire if there's no Radiant rotations right now, and I think Radiant are a little bit spooked to do that. There's going to be a gem picked up on the Clinks. I'm not sure who's going to hold that, but at the same time, we also have a gem picked up for the Puck. Just seeing who's going to hold that. Maybe the Legion, but Legion's pretty much out of slots. Maybe the Bounty, but Bounty's a little bit too much of a target. So it may just be Puck himself holding onto the gem, and that's a really big pick that's going to change the momentum of the game, as there are invis heroes on both sides. Of course, the Clinks on the side of the Dire and the Bounty on the side of the Radiant. So it's gonna be a game of vision now, as we're gonna see who loses gems first. It's gonna be Legion Commander going in with the Halberd. That's what that Talisman of Evasion was. That's it's unorthodox, but I do like the pickup. You know, Halberd someone, duel them up. They're not going to be doing a whole lot of damage to you in return. So, Bone 7, picking up the items that he needs. It's unorthodox for a Legion Commander, but I think it can definitely work. And with Sing Sing dishing out the damage on the back lines, I think they can have more than enough to secure dual victories, even on the Clinks. A very heavy right-click target Nature's Prophet as well. He has a finished AC, so he's going to be able to push lanes very effectively with his team. He's going to be a strong rat now, but I think Radiant might have the resources to deal with that. So Doom now is going to be the gem holder on the side of the Dire. He's got 2,200 gold in his bank, maybe looking to pick up a Blink Dagger here for more Initiate. It's a little bit late for a new Blink to come out, but it's never a bad time to get more mobility as a Doom. Bone 7 still holding on to the recipe for that Assault Cura, so looking to pick it up later down the line when he gets more money. He's a little bit poor right now, and in terms of overall net worth, not keeping up there with the Clinks. He's just kind of snowballing out of control as Clinks now has that completed Daedalus and another 1,800 gold in the bank. Dazzle, meanwhile, looking to pick up the Aghanim Scepter. Not a whole lot of progress on that. We saw him with the Ultimate Orb, the Point Booster, probably about 5-10 minutes ago, and there's really been nothing since then. Now, oh, come with me. Might get picked off here, just taking some serious splash from the Clinks. No time to react there, no time to grave or heal. That's just a dead Dazzle back at the well for a minute. Cancel goes in. It's going to be using that Waning Rift, gets the silence there onto the Clinks, but there's really no follow-up again, and that's just more time for the Dire to group up, make their game plan, decide how they're going to go in, and finally break the high ground here of the Radiant. They don't have a whole lot of resources to deal with this. Again, Sing Sing's going to be hitting hard from the back lines there with that level 2 impetus, with the Dragonlance and the Ags, but Bounty Hunter, all he can really do is brand a track. He hasn't opted to go for that sneaky Dragon build. Now we are going to have a split here onto the high ground. Panda goes in, tossing out the boulder, is going to connect here onto the Bounty Hunter. He's forced staff himself back, but on the back lines, Clink is just beyond godlike, takes out the puck like it's nothing. There's going to be more vision here, revealing the Clinks. He's dusted up. There's going to be a death ward as well. I don't think we're that far from a GG, as the racks are going to be falling down here on the side of the Radiant. This is a super successful rotation in from the Dire. They get 3, they get racks. Legion Commander may end up falling as well. She's super low, heading back to the base. That base regen's going to be super good. She should end up living here as a second lane of racks go in favor of the Dire. I mean, Radiant just don't have a lineup that deals well with Mega Creep, so this is going to be pretty detrimental. Did Dire try to push their advantage and go for the third lane? I think that's the play. There's going to be a duel here. Up against the Clinks, they are going to get the victory there. That's a huge pick for Bone 7. It's a bunch of gold going her way, but it's only going to be the Aegis. They're not able to bring it down again. So for now, it's just going to be the Shiva's cast out. Sing Sing is slow. Sing Sing is missing there, and it's just Mega Creeps now on the side of the Radiant, and it's going to be GG called out as Kaipi, again, they just can't deal with Mega Creeps. They had a strong start. They had the potential for snowballing out of control, but they weren't able to get it offline. I think the Clinks countered the Enchantress just a little bit too well. Sing Sing had a difficult time in lane, and well, that's going to be it for this Best of 1 series, as Uguay take it off of Kaipi. Again, I've been your caster Android. Sorry about my voice. I've been doing a bunch of casting recently, and I guess it's catching up with me, so I am going to be